How you doing? This is Jim Cardona from Cardona Pinball Designs. I wanted to make a couple videos, maybe a few, maybe a series of videos about the company and about what the company is doing and where we're headed in the future of pinball. So for this first video, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and about the company. Basically, we're a relatively new company in pinball. You could call us a startup. We've been around about 3 years, 2020 to 2023, and we started out in more like the hobby market. Before that, and years before that, we were doing a lot of hobbyist type things, modifications to not only pinball machines but arcade machines, and it was just something that I was doing on the side. And we were approached by some people in the industry about taking our product commercial. I guess they saw a certain level of quality there. I would like to think that. And so that's how we got to making commercial kits. And through the guidance of a few other companies, it's such a small community in pinball. There's not a lot of manufacturers out there, and it's amazing how many manufacturers, their employees are really passionate about pinball, and they're willing to share advice and knowledge. So, from all of the companies actually, American Pinball, Spooky Pinball, Stern, as well as some of the distributors such as Planetary Pinball Supply, Cointaker, and Flipper Fidelity. A lot of these companies really gave me a lot of good advice. So when we started to make the products, we started to work hand in hand with Planetary Pinball, Flipper Fidelity, and mainly Fast Pinball, who've been really great to work with. So where the company is at right now in 2023, I'm the main person, right? I'm the only employee at this point, and we subcontract out work that I don't feel is within my skill set. So, for example, so right here we have the Black Rose with the Black Rose kit, and here's the No Good Gofers with our No Good Gofers kit in it. And if you see this artwork, I didn't draw that, right? We hired an artist, and if you're familiar with the American Pinball's Legends of Valhalla, it's the same artist who did this artwork, did all the artwork for the Legends of Valhalla game. So we hired professionals for that sort of thing. We have professional people who are making the music, the sound effects, the voice actors. So all of that stuff. I'm a programmer. I have a degree in computer science from the University of Delaware. So yeah, degree in computer science. I work a lot with telemetry systems in my day job that I use, my old day job. And so remote controlling of solenoids, valves, positioners. So a lot of things that are, anything that's in a pinball machine. I was already used to working on computer systems that control those type of things. And I had a decent background in robotics as well. So I felt like I could do this. Started out again as a hobbyist and just doing experimentation, and and then we were able to, over a several year period of time, able to commence making commercial products. So what we did was we licensed through the license holder for Bally Williams Midway Games. Right now it's Planetary Pinball Supply, so we have a formal license with them. And this is more of the future now. We have a license for 4 games that we purchased. So these are just our first 2, Black Rose and No Good Gofers. Both of them been released this year. And it's kind of like, I know there's a couple people have asked me, they're like, well, why was this rapid fire release between Gofers and Black Rose? Well, the fact of the matter is we've been working on this. We started working on Gofers actually 4 years ago. And it was just the licensing process, the approval process, a lot of stuff just took time to get us so that we had both games done at the same time, but we did a 3-month lag. Now our third game and our fourth game, I'm not going to tell you what those are, but those aren't going to be released this year for sure. Those are still in the production and beta testing for those. The other thing is we're working on toppers. We're working on accessories for these games. So, for example, these games don't have toppers, so we're looking to make toppers that are interactive, not just a piece of plastic that sits on top, but would be interactive with the rules of the game, so that when the game plays and something happens on the play field, there's going to be some lights, some movement, some type of interaction that come out of that topper. And ultimately, the goal is to have that work with both games, the 2.0 game, the one that we made, and also the original game that you can play, through the menu. You can play that, but have that topper be interactive with the original game as well. We're looking for and this is all stuff that's down the pipeline. RGB lighting kits, so that you would have multicolor lights that you could add to your game. Don't have to add it, but it's there. Shaker motors, something that you can add to the game. So for these two games, we're not planning on doing any other modification to the playfield. The original playfields are going to be the way they are, but it's possible for future games we may make some. We have some things we're thinking of. We're not going to say 100% we're doing them, but we have some things we're thinking of as far as either adding ramps or modifying existing ramps for games. And it's a little tricky, right? Because we want to be able to play the original game and also be able to play the 2.0 game. So you say, well, how are you going to modify it and make it play the original? Well, we're going to have to, work on that. We have some ideas, to put it that way. So that's kind of the direction the company's heading. So our expectation is for the next 2 years, we'll be releasing at least 2 more games. If all of that goes well, we're going to license 2 more games after that. So we're looking at 6 total. And as things go on, potentially we could get into manufacturing full machines. But that's more years down the line. So that's just a little snapshot of the company to give you a feel where we're coming from. We've been going to a lot of shows. Definitely, if you have questions about anything, we're definitely, willing to help. If you have questions about you're interested in getting into something, doing something, and we're looking for partners too. Like one of the things, and I don't have a problem saying like here's the things I'm really good at, and here's the things I'm not as good at. So things that I'm not as good at, if you happen to be really good at those and you want to partner with us in some way, then absolutely, we can talk and work together. So like things like, again, like we hired our artists for this stuff, but things like animations, that's one of my weak points. Marketing is one of my weak points. So and we can always use beta testers too. So we were lucky enough for Gofers to have 6 beta testers. We had 4 for Black Rose, and we took the games to a lot of shows, and the beta testers were really passionate. But for future games as well, if we can get beta testers, we're always looking for that.